I've heard that this new Spiral Abyss cycle is quite difficult, so let's see if that's true or not. So for the first half you have Consecrated Beasts and then some Ruin Machines, and then for the second half more Consecrated Beasts, some Fungi, and then some Kairagi. None of these monsters really look that lethal, but it does look like a huge DPS check, so maybe that's why people say it's looking difficult, because Spiral Abyss is becoming more and more of a damage check instead of anything lethal. I don't think there's really been that difficult of monsters that just one-shot you. There have been some exceptions like the Phoenix, and also this Consecrated Scorpion is pretty dangerous as well, but all these other monsters don't really look that difficult in terms of lethality, but once again it is looking like a big DPS check. So for Chamber 2 you have the Aeon Blight Drake, and then the new Hilichurl and some Eremites. Once again it's looking like a really big DPS check. So if you have enough damage, Chamber 2 shouldn't be that difficult. And then finally Chamber 3 you have the Matrix boss, and then Triple Magokenki. I think the only difficult part of this Spiral Abyss that's really difficult is the Triple Magokenki here. The Matrix boss isn't difficult, it's just quite annoying. If you don't bring an Electro character it can be hard to kill, but other than that, yeah, Matrix boss is really not that hard. Now I'm not necessarily trying to go for 9 stars right off the bat, I just want to see how much of a DPS check this Spiral Abyss actually is, because I have seen some complaints that this Spiral Abyss is too hard in terms of damage, so let's see if a C6 Ayaka can keep up or not. These Consecrated Beasts seem to have a lot of HP, but if your characters deal enough damage, it should be okay. So that was the first half. Not bad. I also have to keep reminding myself that Mona's Hydro application is not as good as Kokomi's. Because for Kokomi, I usually just set down her jellyfish, and then I'm just really used to it, applying Hydro so much. Mona's E disappears a lot quicker. Yeah, right now I'm not really caring about rotations. I just want to see how much HP these things have for Ayaka's burst. And it looks like quite a lot. Anyway, on to Chamber 2. So here's the Aeon Blight Drake, a boss that a lot of people don't like. It's not hard, but it is quite annoying. Although this team is really good against it, so I guess it's not going to struggle at all. On to the second half. So how good is Ayaka's burst against these monsters? Let's see. Pretty decent actually. Not bad. So that was Chamber 2. Honestly, not that bad. It looks like Chamber 1 is a little bit more difficult, but that's probably just me messing up rotations. I don't know. Okay, and finally Chamber 3. So this is the first half with the Algorithm Matrix boss. Let's see how this goes. So just like the Aeon Blight Drake, it looks like this team just hard counters it. Yeah. As long as you bring some form of Dendro and Electro, this boss is really easy to fight. Okay, well, for that boss, you can completely mess up your rotations and still do fine as long as you bring Dendro and Electro. And now here's me attempting Triple Magokenki without a shield because I don't use shields. Okay, well, at least they're all clumped together now. So if I can land a good Ayaka burst, it'll deal with all three of them. Well, my Ayaka is dead, but this thing's almost dead, so whatever. It's Shenhe DPS time. And Mona killed it before I was able to switch to her. So that's floor 12 of the 3.6 Spiral Abyss. So yeah, I can see why people would say that this Spiral Abyss is quite difficult, because most of the chambers are pretty much all DPS checks. None of these monsters are really one-hit KOs, except maybe the Magokenkis. So if you're lacking damage, then yes, this Spiral Abyss will be difficult for you. Otherwise, I don't think it's that hard. You might have to retry a few times, but I would say it's a little bit more bearable than the previous one with the Wii Nut. So let me know if you think this Spiral Abyss is difficult or not. I honestly don't think it is if you have the proper characters, but if you don't, then yes, this Spiral Abyss is quite difficult. Now if you haven't done this Spiral Abyss, then I would check it out to see if your characters can deal with this floor or not. And just remember, floor 12, don't stress over it if you can't clear it. 150 pre-1 gems every 2 weeks, whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be all for this one. Until next time.